today. All right, good morning. Hey, better late than never. It's Boogie with the Bull Saturday, a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull at 10:21 on Saturday, May 11th. A little bit of extra time. We're going to play with this today. Randy Rhodes is here, the genealogist to everybody, and William Rayfield, the host of the Patriots Lab, has us on the Patriots Lab Network. So good morning to everyone on the Patriots Lab Network. It is a pleasure to have you watching Boogie with the Bull and feel appropriately welcome to comment anywhere and everywhere and share anywhere and everywhere. So in order of people who arrived in the studio today, we'll start the opening testimonies. We'll go to William, then we'll go to Randy, then we'll go back and forth and a mishmash. Everybody will be involved, and if you're in the live chat, please be involved too. Good morning, Mr. William.
Good morning. How are you this morning, Dave?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great here in Tennessee. It's a great day. The sun is out. It's a little chilly though today. It was 80s past couple of days, off and on, but it's about 65 today, so it's a chilly one. Great day to be with Boogie with the Bull. Welcome all those watching, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. I'm collabing with Dave and Randy this morning for Saturday's special edition. It's special to me because I normally don't get a chance to come on with you guys. So it's a pleasure, it's an honor, and let's get down.
And we return that to you. Mr. Randy, anything to say? Hey, Randy, where are the donuts?
Oh, I ate them. Seriously, I was so hungry this morning. I had a sugar fever, and my wife had ordered them from Tasty Cake down the street. They delivered them. Wow, I'll tell you what. I mean, if I'm belching later on, you know why. No, but you know how I always say that your mind works in unique ways, and when it hears a certain word or smell something, it brings back a memory. Well, when you saying about the Saturday special edition, my brain immediately went back to when I used to get a newspaper, or when I lived at home and my father got the newspaper. It was always something you look forward to. It's like the mailman. You always look for, especially right now, my age, it's the highlight of my days when the mailman shows up, which is pretty sad when you think about it. But back in the day, Lancaster County had two newspapers, a Democrat and a Republican. So the morning paper was called Lancaster Intelligencer, and that was a Democrat paper that it had the left-leaning news profiling. The evening paper was called Lancaster New Era. That was the Republican. And my dad got both because he wanted to get the news from both sides of the equation. And of course the Sunday newspaper. I don't know about you guys, but the Sunday newspaper as a child, that was golden because that thing was that thick, right?
Yep.
Now the news was like that. The rest was all advertising.
Parade magazine.
Yeah.
Every comic under the sun. Now we had 5 Logan kids, so we each had our own thing of silly putty, and we could sit there and put the silly putty down and pull it up and look at it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good memories, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm younger than you, so I can still remember.
This is what they wake up to now.
Still remember doing it.
This is what they wake up to now. As soon as they open their eyes, it's no more silly. Well, they got silly putty on their phone. They play the same games we used to play, except they play on their phone. I don't know if it's the same, but it's the same game.
It's the same game, but I just don't see. I mean, my screen is 6.2 inches, and I don't see how anybody can sit there and look at that for an extended period of time. And my grandson, 11 years old, has an iPhone, and I think it's about the same size screen. And I felt so bad I gave him my iPad, partly because it can't go beyond iOS 15.9, and but for him, it's like a 9-inch screen, and I thought he'd enjoy that, but no. The more I see him, he's like this. And I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I did this in the car. I always mounted something this big in a dash mount or a windshield mount, to hold it when I was using it for MapQuest or something. But
Remember growing up, you had the yellow. I don't know. Maybe y'all a little older than me. Well, Dave, maybe you a lot older than me. But
no. I'm
remember the yellow Tonka trucks?
62. Randy's
Remember the Tonka
67.
trucks you could go buy?
Yeah.
And remember the one that you could wind up with the string, and when the string break, you go try to find your mom's sewing kit so you can use her needle thread to make the string to pull up the drawstring on the Tonka truck, on the dirt truck. The dump truck, Randy. Randy looking at me like, bro, what you talking about?
Well,
Randy, what you see? Are you talking about a truck? A toy truck?
It was a Tonka truck that he said you wound up with the string. But
I remember.
Randy might remember this. If you remember the big yellow or the big orange metal Tonka dump truck. Those things, even
they took a kicking.
But those things, even if they're beat up, scratched, these days they are worth money. And if you have one that is not all beat up and scratched, it's worth big money.
Yeah, it is because they replaced with damn plastic. Plastic.
Or when when Matchbox honored everybody, but if Matchbox honored you with a metal version of your whatever, because they made the cars out of die-cast metal back then, it was like, you had made it to Detroit City Auto Row. Like the Hollywood, like the stars of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I didn't mean to shut you down, William.
No, you didn't. You didn't. I was just saying good morning to Robin. Good morning to Mama D this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for morning coffee.
Yeah.
You talk about Matchbox cars. Well, my dad was stationed in England for 3 years. Okay, I'm not sure where they originated from, but they also had their version of the Matchbox cars. And I remember every week when I got my allowance, I walked down to the town, to their store to look for those candy and to look for the newest Matchbox car. They had the double-decker bus. You had all the obviously English version of the Matchbox. Oh my God! And I had that collection, and I kept it for years. And I don't know, I found dumb, stupid. I tossed them when I got older as a teenager.
Yep, I had a 48 car case.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
That was Hot Wheels. It wasn't Matchbox, but I had everything in it. A friend of the family worked for Mattel, so he gave my brother and I all the coolest Hot Wheels. And then when I decided I wanted to sell it, I knew what the value was. A guy came over and said, "I'll give you $50 for it." I said 100. He said 75, and I let it go. It was worth a little bit more, but I just didn't want to sit there and argue with the guy all day long. But
remember G.I. Joes? G.I. Joes?
G.I. Joe.
Yep.
When G.I. Joe matured a little and got a beard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my God.
He's not G.I. Joe no more.
I do hope everybody has forgotten G.I. Jane. Jane.
Yes, G.I. Jane.
Jane.
Hey, Randy, I got something for you. Being that you're on the Confederate level and everything. What do you think about you've heard that in Virginia the school board was the Confederate names of Stonewall Jackson and Ashby Lee. For those who don't know, Stonewall Jackson was a great Confederate general, and I thought Ashby Lee was one person. Ashby Lee is actually two people. They were I forgot the name, but they were both, Ashby and Lee were both part of the Confederate cavalry. But yeah, I was like, wow, I thought they were one person. Come to find out they were two people.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually when I saw that, first off, I fact checked it, right, and to make sure that it wasn't just some whimsical thoughts. But yeah, that the two of the schools, out of how many I'm not sure, are in that district, decided to change the names back to the Confederate generals to honor them. And my comment was, yeah, the names are changed now into the other side decides to protest and start burning down the school because they're offended by the name changes, and then the school board is going to say, you know what, that was a bad idea. Let's change it back to what it was. I just hope that the I think it was like a 5-1 decision. I just hope that those 5 people are well protected, and that they stick to their guns about the name change. I'm sorry, history is history. Okay, what happened in the past happened in the past. Let's learn from it. So by changing names, by removing names, by removing statues and monuments and paintings and portraits and pictures and whatever the hell else, digging up dead bodies, and I hope they're dead, digging up bodies and relocate them to somewhere else, it's not going to change what happened.
Well, they've let this woke stuff go on. I like to call it the woke experiment because it's not going nowhere. The only thing it's done was cause major destruction and invite different aspects to our culture to evolve. But the culture, the woke culture in itself, is dead, man. You're not gonna get rid of history, and people understand that, man. People really understand that, and it's just sickening. Dave, you got me with your. I read your post. I was reading your post this morning, talking about how sick and disgusted you was, and how you wasn't coming back. And then at the end of the long shit, it said in 5 minutes. You had me going for a minute.
I read that. I steal those every time I see them, regardless of what it is, even if it's just something like go have a beer and enjoy the rest of your day. Because
I want to say good morning to my mama. My mama's watching. Yeah. Good morning, my Dukes.
Good morning.
Everybody say good morning to my Dukes.
Good morning, my Dukes, Mama Rayfield, everybody in the Rayfield house. It is a pleasure to have you with us this morning. I did want to drop back to Randy for just a second as you guys were talking about the defacing of statues and taking them down and other monuments and things. Ichabod Palmer is going through cemeteries, I believe, in the South and cleaning them up and hopefully restoring them back to the grandeur that they deserve. After he goes in and does that, Randy, do you hear from him that they stay that way, or are they ripped up again and he's going to have to go back, or they're just not going to spend the money to have him come back?
Ask the question again.
Well, you know how Ichabod is going through some
right.
In the South, and he's replacing the replacing or cleaning up as best as he can the tombstones. After he gets all of that done, has he said anything about the willy-nillys who don't want the cemeteries there, the tombstones and all of that? Are they going in and just defacing it all again? Or are they leaving it alone and kind of getting the message? Excuse my English. Jen's not here. Don't fuck with us, you know.
I mean,
this is going to be a constant project for him.
You know, people who are assholes and go into cemeteries to deface the tombstones. First off, they need to have their asses whipped. Secondly, obviously, he's being paid to restore the tombstones back to their as close to original as possible, especially to be able to read what's written on the tombstones. Because a lot of times people write things on those tombstones besides the name and the date and they're born and die. They write all kinds of neat little messages. But I would have to assume that excuse me, if he's being paid to restore these vegetables of history, should the assholes who destroyed them to start with go back and do the same thing, they'll have them go back. I know some of the cemeteries are starting to put in cameras to watch over the cemetery. That'd be interesting to see what they might catch at nighttime, seeing the spirits come out, and do their dancing thing. But no, yeah, he's being paid to fix them, and I'm assuming that if it happens again, he'll be paid to go back there and do it again.
Yeah. They're actually, if you go into some of the cemeteries, in some of the older ones in your town or in your city, they're actually beautiful places. I mean, just landscaped beautifully. And if you go into the older sections where, back when maybe it first opened, or and read some of the headstones, it's really beautiful stones and monuments to people who passed. But I mean, just nice quiet places where I don't know where I was going with that thought, but they're not just your trashed urban city park that nobody wants, so they just go in there and trash it one week and somebody else goes in and trashes it the next week. It's just sad. It's just sad.
And, Flag Day's coming up soon. Where they go out and they put the flags in to all the military people in the cemeteries. And I actually reached out, so I figured since the South doesn't want me, my great grandfather fought for the North at Gettysburg, so I should be a shoe-in and join a Union camp. So I actually applied to a Union camp, and I'm waiting for an answer back. I'm hoping they give me an answer soon, because I would love to go to the local cemetery here and help them put out flags. But I haven't had the answers yet, so we'll see what happens. But yeah,
go ahead.
That's the other thing. People, those flags aren't free, and you will have Cub Scout, Boy Scouts, different Girl Scouts, different organizations going out there every so often and just putting flags at every veteran's tombstone. Doesn't matter if there's a Confederate, Revolutionary War, 18 War, 1812, whatever. If they served in the military, they got a flag. And what pisses me off sometimes is when you get those idiots who go out after the fact and they steal all the damn flags.
Yeah.
Or destroy them.
Yeah. Right. What do you think, William?
Well, I don't know. I don't destroying them. I don't agree with. Now, if they're taking them, and they're taking them because they really want one, and for some reason they're too lazy to go out and buy one, as long as they're flying it proudly, I might give them a pass on it. I might give them a pass on it. I might give them a pass on it. They see American, but they shouldn't be trespassing and going to take it. It is wrong. It is wrong. But if I was the police and I rolled up to somebody's house and I'm like, yo, y'all took these American flags over there, and I'd probably be like, hey, I ain't gonna take you to jail, but y'all take them back. We gotta take them away. Now, if I see y'all was burning them or doing something, you ain't got no business doing that's disrespectful to them, then y'all gonna go to jail.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah, the only time you're supposed to burn a flag is when it's been so badly damaged, from age and so forth, that you can't properly fly it, and that's when you would, burn it, take it to a proper place to have it burned.
Yeah, but isn't there a whole ceremony or decommissioning that's involved in it before you actually torch it up? Yes. It's not just that they don't just pour gasoline on it and strike a match.
You're absolutely right. You must have been a Boy Scout.
No, well, I was, but I didn't stay. I didn't stay very long. Our youngest son, I think, just about made Eagle, or may have made Eagle. I don't remember. He was close when he got out. Our other two, I don't remember being involved in.
So you're talking about California. So this
Yep.
is the thing. California was just under they asked for $12 billion for the homelessness project to fight homelessness. So
Okay.
they did an audit, and this is what they found out. First of all, 20 billion dollars would it be? $20 billion has all of a sudden come up unaccounted for fighting the homeless problem. Now here's the issue. The homeless problem in California has doubled in the past 10 years. So, not only can you account for $20 billion, but your homeless problem has doubled. So, first of all, where's the money?
Oh, Nancy.
And what situation of the homeless crisis did you tackle?
Nothing.
Because if it doubled, it don't sound like you was on your job too hard.
It didn't go to the homeless, meaning homeless American citizens. It went to the Immigrant American Homeless Project. And how it got divided up and who got what, that I can't tell you. But
well, I don't know what project it went to. It didn't go to the home. It didn't
No,
go
it
to
didn't.
fight homeless.
no, it didn't go. Yeah, it didn't go to fight American citizen homelessness. It went to go fight. What do they call that? Sanctuary city homelessness, and keep those people who are probably still living in 5-star hotels in California getting paid very well to keep those people there. And
But you know what though? It's sad because the people that live in these communities, Randy, I wonder if they really seen themselves hit rock bottom by them being overlooked by the illegal immigrants and everything. And I wonder if all of this stuff being brought to light on how the average American citizen is just being left by the wayside. I wonder if they're realizing that they've hit rock bottom.
You're talking about the homeless, whether or not they feel that they've hit rock bottom.
No, I'm talking about the American citizen itself. I mean, because they kept voting these same politicians. Gavin Newsom, I mean, they wanted him in there. I don't know, because the women liked the way he looked, but hell, they got him in there.
Okay, hang on. I look at when it comes to Democrats and it comes to the election process, okay? I have got to add like 10 pounds of sugar of bullshit because, who in the hell would keep voting back in the individuals who are supposed to be making your cities better and your cities are getting worse? You just drive down the regular, streets to, go shopping or go to your work or wherever, and you see these people defecating on the sidewalk. You see these people walking around like they're zombies, and you see these tent cities, and you see all this bullshit, and so I call bullshit on the election process. They're not being voted back in by people. They're being voted back in by machines and dead people. That is the only way they're staying in office, because who in the hell wants $20 an hour minimum wage to flip burgers? Who in the hell wants $7 plus a gallon of gas? You don't do that on purpose. Unless you're a Hollywood elite or a politician living in California who can afford to live that way, fine. Let
But-
them pay the higher shit. But the
But
regular,
I keep
regular
telling
judge-
people, what you got to do is you got to stop going to McDonald's or your fast food place that's going to start paying their people $20 an hour, because I've said repeatedly that $20 an hour, you can trace it back to when a person was making $10 an hour, paying $5 an hour in taxes. You double their pay to $20 an hour. You're now paying $10 in taxes, and you're still only netting that original $10 an hour. That's what I don't think these people understand. It sounds great that you're getting $20 an hour, but when you look at it, by the time they take the taxes out, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure you're just getting the same $10 an hour, and no one from the
government.
Right. No one from the Democrat side has come to me, even Bernie Sanders, who I would love to have come to me, but he won't, and say, you know what, you're really right. And then I kick that back to minimum wage. Minimum wage was never created, I think, and I could be 100% wrong, to be sure that anybody was getting paid any kind of money per hour per working to live on. Minimum wage was something the IRS created so that the IRS could look at all of the people working and all of the taxes that they're going to pay and have an idea, an estimate of how much money they were going to be able to give the government every year to spend. Nothing more, nothing less, because we are an insignificant part of what has become our government, almost to the point where I could probably say, and they probably agree with me, the taxes that Randy, you and I are on SSDI. If you don't, you work, so you pay some taxes. I don't work, so I don't have any income tax. Florida doesn't have an income tax, so they're not getting anything from me. So I mean, it's like Jen said the other day, it's time for the flat tax for everybody. Everybody pays 10%. If you make $100 gazillion trillion, you pay $1 trillion. If you make $1,000, you pay $100. If you make $10, you pay $1. If you make 10 cents, you don't pay anything. And I don't think right now people should be worried about crap like that. I think they need to be worried about whether or not, like Randy and Bill Muckler said the other day, and other people have said, maybe there's not going to be an election. If there's not going to be an election anymore, you're probably not going to have a job anymore. You're not going to be paying taxes anymore.
Well,
go ahead, Ray.
The DNC, the Democratic Party is starting to show their playbook on how they're getting ready to let this play out, at least on their side. So we know we got the Democratic Convention coming up in Chicago or wherever they're going to hold it.
Ohio.
Well, now they're coming up with security reasons why they need to hold, and they're calling it a hybrid production, to where they mainly want to air 80% of the convention on television, which means they're going to edit out whatever they want to edit it out, and they want to have all floor discussions done behind closed doors to prevent any type of chaos or mayhem taking place on the convention floor, because they know how much people despise Biden at this point. So
the
is
people
this going to be the first time?
The people that created all of the mayhem that you're referring to have now decided they're going to, instead of having the real people, the delegates and everybody sitting in the hall or wherever the convention is going to be in Ohio, won't be there. Barron Trump won't be able to be there because evidently Barron Trump is going to he's going to the Republican convention. I'm sorry, I got mixed up there for a second.
Well, see, they can't take the chance of letting their radical followers in now. You know, they don't want to take a chance of having nation TV, the whole dude. Can you know how they stand off in their little groups and they hold their signs and stuff like that? Dude, can you imagine just portions, 80% of the place in there chanting? Dude, they don't want that stuff to be seen like that on TV.
Hang on just a second. I got a big comment to read.
So this is going to be another first in history type of thing.
Yep. Hang on just a second as I do my best to try to read. James White has a comment. Actually, we are really starving a lot. I'm 22 years old. I'm jobless. I'm struggling to get food to feed my younger 6 siblings. Both parents passed away 1 year ago. Okay, I'm going to just scroll down to the bottom but yeah, okay. So it's not just an attempt to try to get money from people watching. So James, I apologize if I put that shadow on it. But yeah, I mean, what you're saying is right, Ray. You know, now the people 22 years old, you know, they've been voting. This is probably the second presidential election he's voted in. 22 years old. Voting
not at 22.
22, you start voting when you're 18. That's 4 years. 4 years from 18 is 22. So if he voted when he was 18, this would be his second at 22. No, yeah, 4 years. But anyway, I can't do math in my head anyway. But anyway, my point is, you know, here's a guy who's saying to America, this is what's happening. You know, I can't feed myself. I can't feed my family. We're struggling.
Wait a minute. See, I'm lost with this comment.
Okay.
Because where in America do they still pay anybody $5? Wait a minute. See, that struck my attention right there. That with this person. Now, I'm not saying you're lying, James, but where are you cleaning toilets and they only paying you $5? What country you in? where you at, bro? What? Because you, hey, I hear a lot of American tragedy stories. You 22, you taking care of 5 siblings. This sounds like one of these African Nigerian stories or something. Yeah. You know, that's why I'm asking. That's
you know, I got to be careful when we share the comments. No, we're not sending
bills, house rent bills. Some days we sleep hungry, like today in this third. I don't know.
Part of that doesn't make sense either.
I know that $5 threw me off quick.
School fees, water bills, house rent. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe it was my bad feeling. Having sympathy for the person, but you know, the $5, you're right. The $5 kicks
okay. So minimum wage across our country is supposed to be at $7.25. So if he's working for a genuine employer, and he's being paid $5 an hour, it ticked him to court because she's not paying the required federal minimum wage, which is $7.25.
See, I don't know.
And damn, that's more than I do.
I want to know where he at. I want to know where he at. Where his job is strictly limited to toilets.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you just doing toilets? I mean, are you getting $5 a toilet?
No, he's getting $5 because he's not in the toilet union, which probably pays 10, 15.
Well, you figure if you're in the restroom and they're like 20 stalls in the restroom and you clean 20 toilets and you getting $5 a toilet.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody got to sink. you got the toilet. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to go by what.
Yeah, something doesn't
My man said I'm
sound
cleaning
right.
toilets and they pay me $5.
Yeah. Be easy on me, people. My mental state, some days I can believe almost anything, but $5 an hour for cleaning toilets somewhere.
Hey, move up the showers, bro. Move up the
Yes,
showers.
yeah,
Maybe showers pay a little bit more. I
move
don't
up
know.
the showers.
Yeah, well, like I said,
Go ahead,
to
Randy.
that guy, have him check. If he's being paid, if he's working for a real employer who's not hiring like illegals and paying under the table kind of scenario, and he's only getting paid $5 an hour, report him. Now he could be working for an employee who's not paying taxes, who's not reporting to the government, and if that's the case, he's screwed because he can't complain because his employer's not following the federal guidelines for being an employer. And but if he's working for a genuine employer who's paying his taxes and the unemployment and Social Security and all that good stuff, and he's only paying $5 an hour, report his ass, make a couple $1 million in the process, and retire.
Oh, yeah. Or stop getting into Julio's van every day and getting dropped off at a place where you only get $5 to clean up toilets. And half the time Julio doesn't come back at 2:00 in the morning when they're done to pick you up and bring you home. Hey, the real Joe Biden is watching. Let's see. Lisa Rodriguez is watching. Good morning to you. I'm watching. Suzanne Haddix is watching. William Grant is watching. Now that makes William Grant one broadcast ahead of Danny Campbell, meaning that he has now watched more Boogie with the Bull broadcasts than anybody else, until, of course, Danny Campbell joins this broadcast, and then they will be equal again. Dr. David Novar, computer technician, is watching. Eric Stickles is watching, or at least was watching at the beginning. I'm watching. Randy's watching. William is watching. And if I missed you, I feel bad. And to all of you that are watching, that means that you're on my profile watching, or you're somewhere that I shared it watching, and your comments are not being seen because the only monitored live chat on Facebook is the one on my profile. So if I know that you're watching, I'm going to embarrass you by saying your name, greeting you, welcoming you, thanking you for watching, and begging you to come into the live chat and say something.
Well, see, Dave, I know what I'm talking about most of the time. So
actual and factual.
Our fearless Mr. James White he lives in Moe, Nairobi, Kenya.
Okay.
So I can see why he made the comments that he makes. Remember, I was saying he's probably in another country somewhere because I dibble and dabble with people over in those areas and stuff like that. I talk to them every now and again, and they are treated that way. That's why when he was saying $5, I'm like, wait a minute, you in another country somewhere.
Minimum wage in Nairobi is $5, and I understand that's the high end of minimum wage.
So blessings for you over there in Mobi, Kenya. You stay safe over there, my brother.
I want to tell you what. I saw.
Go ahead, Randy.
God, it's how my mind works. Talking about toilets in Nairobi. My mind goes back to a show I was watching, or a video or something. I know what it was. It was the it was about this book about this kid from India. I forget what the name of the damn title of the book is. But they made I actually read the damn thing, and he had a job where, oh my God, he would clean out the toilets. Now, it wasn't like cleaning out a porcelain toilet. It was these people would go out onto like this show, the shack that's built out across from the ground, and there's this hole in the damn floor. And they shit into the hole, and it goes in this damn bucket down below. And every so often, that bucket has to get emptied out. And this kid had to clean this bucket Oh God, see, you guys gotta change the subject. But my
No,
brain
now
is-
that right, but
You
that
brought
oh
kid,
it
my
up.
God.
but
You brought it up.
that kid went on to create
Oh, what was the name of that
porta
book?
potties. That kid went out and he created porta potties, and now he's a gazillionaire.
Let me see if I can figure out what the name of that book is. I'll get back
I
to
don't
you.
know.
All right,
All
we'll
right.
change the subject.
Hey,
So,
yeah, Randy and I in the beginning before we come on when we're in the green room, we're gonna have to make a list of each of the things that neither one of us can't remember anymore, and see if the other can help us before we go live. Because losing your mind is a terrible thing. But go
okay.
ahead, Ray.
So,
Good
question.
morning, John Tenuta. By the way, go ahead, Ray.
Brand new Swiss Army knife. It's brand new upgrade. The Swiss Army knife now comes without the blade.
You mean just the holder without the knife blade in it?
No, you know how it know how it has the 5 different utensils. It has the
Yeah.
fingernail file.
Yeah.
It's got your can
Well,
opener.
there's 8 million
He's talking about a
sizes.
Swiss knife.
There's 8 million sizes of Swiss Army knife.
Well, how the hell are you gonna call it the upgrade, the new improved Swiss Army knife, if you ain't got the knife blade in it no more?
Well, I don't understand how they could do it, but I mean there are so many
exactly.
but there are so many different sizes of. My father had one that was literally about a quarter of an inch, just under half an inch wide. It had 2 very small blades in it, and the plastic toothpick that came out of
but
one
now
of the ends that was my grandfather's. So, and that's why he carried it. I don't know where it went after my father passed away,
but you can't call it a Swiss Army knife.
There it is.
You can't call it a knife if the blade
no,
ain't
you can't
in
call it right. You can't call it a knife if the blade is not
It's the
in
fingernail file, not the blade. So now
No,
you go
but-
pull out the fingernail file
Well,
on somebody.
you could pull. Well, the fingernail file, if there is one, is a blade. The toothpick is usually made out of good plastic that won't break. That could be the equivalent of a blade. I mean, you jab it in someone's neck, but it sounds to me like the Swiss Army Knife Company woke up. And if that's the case, and now they're just selling you the case with their emblem on it and no knife blade in it, I'll never buy another Swiss Army knife, regardless of what size it is and whether or not there's blades in it or not.
Yeah, I don't care if it can open up a bottle top. I want my Swiss Army knife to be able to open up a human being.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but you know, if my grandfather who had that small pocket size Swiss Army knife and he carried it for years, and my father was the youngest of the 3 kids, and he got it when Papa passed away, and I don't know who my father passed it to. I didn't want it, so I don't know who my father passed it to, probably one of his grandsons.
Exactly right, John. Kind of like having a gun without a trigger.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So I mean, I wouldn't if eventually Papa's Swiss Army knife had made its way down to me, or I thought Papa's Swiss Army knife had made it down to me, and it was just a knife case. Because it was Papa's knife case, it might still feel somewhat of a family treasure, but realistically,
They're just taking the fun out of everything.
They are.
They're taking the originality away from this woke this who's gonna buy one?
right? They won't. And when a
Well, I
Boy
guess
Scout,
as long as it's got the fingernail file.
well, maybe, but when a Boy Scout,
will buy it.
when a Boy Scout, before he went out on his first Boy Scout camping trip, got from his father the Swiss Army knife that had the 3 screwdrivers and the cork bottle opener and the spoon and the fork and a knife that you could cut food with.
It's
And,
not
you
the
know,
Boy Scouts no more.
Well,
So,
it was the Boy.
They don't have to stop getting a knife.
Well, it was the Boy Scouts back then, and when you got that knife going in on the eve of going out on your first camping trip, that was sort of a rite of passage of becoming a man. You know, in some ways, and now if it was me and my father handed me an empty knife, a case, a Swiss Army knife case that didn't have any knives in it. I mean, it just sounds to me like the Swiss, who are already woke up anyway, might have tripped and hit their heads on something, and they might not be as woke as we thought they were anymore.
That's like your dad buying you a 69 Camaro with no fucking engine.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
What's the purpose? What's the purpose?
So the name of that book was Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, I remember the movie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. That was a good movie. About what you was just talking about.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So, the defense is getting ready to. The prosecution is getting ready to rest their case next week after their all-star witness, none other than the lion-ass Michael Cohen himself takes the stand. The funny thing about this case, it's really funny because it's gonna, when he's found not guilty by everybody on the jury, because these people are human, just like these people are the same New Yorkers that were like these construction workers, that were like these people at the bodega, that were like these people everywhere he's stopping, that were like these 50,000 plus people that's going to be at Jersey waiting for him at Wildlands. These people are sitting on this jury like, dude, you had to give us something. You gave us nothing. You gave us nothing.
I disagree. I think they gave him everything. They're just
they gave the jury nothing to find him guilty.
Oh yeah, okay, right, okay. But
that's what I mean. The jury's
I think
nothing.
I think those people sitting in the jury, if you ask them, he gave them everything to send him home.
All of the prosecution's witnesses turned out to be bad witnesses for the prosecution.
Right.
I mean, it's like,
I just think that their case is falling apart. Judge Merchan is now the DA, whose name I can't remember, is trying to tell Judge Merchan to put a gag order on Michael Cohen and make sure that he's not talking about it, because supposedly I hear Trump said to Judge Merchan in court that Michael Cohen needs to basically shut his mouth and not talk. I'm not allowed to talk, but everybody else is allowed to talk. Plus, the whole big thing about this, I think a gag order on a case like this doesn't work, because it was in the news long before they first ever met in any courtroom to discuss anything in the pre-trials and now here in the trial. And you can't just, Merchan can't just go on TV, smack his gavel on his bench and say, America, you have to forget everything that you heard.
You know what's so astonishing about everything?
Go ahead.
They do it with no remorse. They've been doing it. And you figure there comes a time when you've been busted that you stop. But they know they've been busted and they continue to just do what they do. They're the only ones, and even know what even they know. Well, they've been new because they're the ones who orchestrated the whole thing.
Right.
But even they know what they're doing is wrong, and they know that they're going against everything that the American people stand for, and they're just going full steam ahead. They're like, F the American people, yo.
But they're going to keep doing it because at the top of the Justice Department is a guy named Marinated in Garlic, Merrick Garland, as I call him. And he's a Democrat attorney general who, as far as I'm concerned, still has a chip on his shoulder that, what's his face? McConnell didn't give him a hearing in the Senate to get him on the Supreme Court. So he's going to hold that against Trump, I'm sure. But the bottom line is the Democrats look and they go, oh, yeah, way upstairs on the top floor in the throne at the Justice Department is Merrick Garland, a deputy attorney general laid up top as a god by Joe Biden. So he's going to protect me for now. They're not worried about when Jim Jordan or someone else sits down in a Trump DOJ, because they'll just take their chances when they get called in, or they're just gonna, for lack of, it won't be a Hillary Clinton coming after them. It'll just be they'll just do something themselves because they don't want to go to jail.
Look, this is this administration got away with pulling the wool over everybody's eyes for so long.
Mm-hmm.
They got away with it for so long.
Yep.
And it's like now the American people are just like, they're like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them really still can't believe this is really happening. But they picked the wrong type of people to try to do some unlawful stuff, and think it wasn't going to be noticed.
But I think it wasn't just like the Rhodes Doctrine, which we used to call it when Randy first started with Boogie with the Bull, where he said they told us what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, when they were going to do it, where they were going to do it, and then they went ahead and did it right in front of our eyes. I think it's a little more complicated than that. They gave us bits and pieces of what they were going to do. They told us bits and pieces of how they were going to do it. And then they kind of went ahead and did it. And then they went back and took some more bits and pieces and some more bits and pieces. And they got to a point where they thought maybe they were going to get away with it because the changes were so subtle as they went through that now when it's coming back and hitting them in the face, it's just too much. They can't handle that.
If you were on the outside looking in and you hear a certain party call another party a threat to democracy, but yet you see the other people burning shit down every time you turn around, like people are going to realize, and they're going to wake up and they're going to be like, yo, these are the same people that was at January 6th. These are the same damn people. 80% of the people protesting on these campuses ain't even students of the schools.
Right.
These are the same.
You're probably right. I mean, I haven't looked at it, but that is something that I will take actual factual from you. You're probably 100%
38
right.
people got arrested yesterday at George Washington University. 9 of them were students.
Right, and the
whole microcosm.
Right, and the other 29 were hired by the Soros organization or some other.
I don't know.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm just saying some other grassroots Democrat trash
But
mob
those are the same
hired them
people.
and brought them in.
They show the same mannerisms, the same characteristics from the summer of love in 2020 when they was burning shit down, to what they're doing, wrapping up all the monuments and burning down and putting up barriers. These are the same people that took fucking Seattle hostage in their little encampment. The Patriots don't make encampments, man. See, people gonna realize who the hell is behind all this shit. That's why I was telling people, man, I ain't got time for it. They know what it is. They know what it is.
They do. They're seeing it now.
Yeah, they know what it is. We've been telling them for years.
Randy, say something.
We can only hope that they are seeing what they should be seeing. The fact that we're almost 4 years into an illegal presidency makes you. I'm still seeing shit on TV and on social media about they're finding boxes of ballots, and they're finding the one councilwoman was asking the one lady, where are the 368,000 votes ballots from your county? You didn't ask us to look for that. We were looking at this other stuff. No, where are the 360-some thousand ballots that we're asking about now? Well, can I get back to you on that? It's
they were incinerated, and if they weren't, they will be.
Yeah, by now, I mean, you really think almost 4 years into it, they haven't destroyed all the evidence?
Yeah. Hey, Ray, I got to ask you, because I trust you and I actually want your opinion. You may have to.
Oh, no, you trust them.
You may have to theorize on this because you don't like to do that, but do a shot at it for me. Randy is among the people, and I'm not. I guess I am too. But Trump had 2020 stolen from him. If he gets elected in 2028, should he get 2 terms? 1 term to make up for the term that he didn't. Oh, excuse me, 2024. 2024. My brain had moved ahead. Should he get 2 terms, 2024 to 2028, to make up for the fact that he didn't serve 2020 to 2024? Or is everybody just going to forget about that and move on?
No, you forget about that. You move on. You don't want to start setting precedent for some lunatics to try to use that as first president and then try some bullshit, and let them be the ones to try to pull that bullshit. I don't want them to piggyback on it. And, well, Trump got 6 years, and then you got to go through the courts and go through all that, and there's something else to fight about because the Republicans did it first. No, because see, it's not about Trump. As long as the policies can carry on, the American First agenda can carry on. Let the torch be passed off to the new generation of hopefuls. And see what the young guns got. See if their bark is just as fierce. See if their bite is just as fierce as their bark is. But let them come in, and that'll give them enough time to groom whoever. Because you notice how methodical he is being about vice president. Wow, it's just I just love it. I just love it.
He's gonna drop a bombshell. He's gonna, for lack of putting it better right now, he's gonna pull a Trump better than Donald Trump has ever pulled a Trump before. I think with his vice president, our mouths are all just gonna drop, and we're just gonna go. And then together we're all gonna look at him and go, "You're right. You're absolutely right."
See, a man like Donald Trump always has death in the back of his mind. So whoever he picks, it's going to be intertwined with, are they capable of taking over and keeping what I've built and what I've got going? Are they strong enough to withstand the onslaught of the dirty Dems that are kind of going to come after whoever holds the mantle after me. There's going to be a lot of things he's going to be looking for when he picks a VP. It's just not going to be picked because they say, Donald, you need a woman. You know,
you need a person of color.
He'll fuck around and go get a transgender person on your ass just because they got the qualifications and don't give a damn. You know, that's just the guy.
Yeah.
As long as it's not Leah Thompson, he's probably okay.
He'll go get Mike Tyson. He don't care. You know.
You're gonna find this strange coming out of my mouth, but there was you know, I say what I say sometimes about gays, lesbians, and transgenders, but every now and then I come across one, or they're conservative, they're Republican, which kind of blows my mind. And there's this one on Twitter. I don't know what the hell his name is, or his social media name is, but he wears these funky glasses. I think they're like butterfly glasses, but he has some good stuff to say. He's definitely a Trump supporter, and he comes out and
are you talking about Mega? Are you talking about Mega Lady?
She had like butterfly glasses.
Does she wear different outfits?
No, that's I think he's a man dressed in as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
Let me check.
Is it Mega? Is it Mega?
Hold on. Jeez, give me a break.
That's my homie right there.
Yeah, I wish America would listen to Scott Libredo more and more. I really do. At least take his ex videos and post them on Facebook. Don't play him around your children because he's a great guy, but he drops more F-bombs than I do.
Oh yeah. I love the guy. His paintings, yeah.
His opinions are spot on. His videos
if y'all aren't following Mega Lady,
okay.
Y'all go follow her page, his page
at Mega Lady. I'll put it in the comments right now. At Mega Lady on.
Oh, it's Lady Mega. Lady Mega.
Oh, wait a minute. Was that?
You're on her page, Dave. I think.
Yeah. Was that Lady Maga who worked with Randy Griesenbeck?
Yeah.
And the whole controversy started, and
That's where I met her at.
I never met him. I wish I had been there. I really wanted to meet him. I think I talked to him a few times, but I really wanted to meet him. And he stood up to all of those people. Just not Randy Griesenbeck, but stood up to a whole bunch of really terrible, I can't say terrible enough, people.
Yeah, I was there. I was there. Yeah. But yeah, Lady Mega, that's my guy right there.
Yeah. She's the one. Yeah.
So at Lady Maga on X.
It's Lady Maga. Okay, so it's Lady Maga USA.
He's not a she.
Right.
What do you call those?
Unfortunately, the term drag queen
has taken, there you go.
But unfortunately, the term drag queen has been soiled and taken the wrong approach.
I want to tell you what.
Because now you very rarely see RuPaul dressed that way, and RuPaul was the one who introduced us all. Really?
Well, because now if you dress like a drag queen, you're probably in the transgender category now.
I want to tell you what.
There were old ones in comedy, like Uncle Milton Berle, always dressed up like one on his TV shows. And Flip Wilson had Geraldine, and Tyler Perry made
Medea.
Well, I want to tell you what.
Medea is the queen of them. Go ahead,
Randy. Randy, kick your ass on this.
I mean, I was just going. I like the guy. I mean, he, whatever the proper way to pronounce his gender. I like the person, okay? But going through his profile on Twitter, I went to when he dresses as a female. I'm gonna tell you what, he's pretty.
Oh, he know how to do
No,
it. Though. He know how to
I'm
do it.
serious. I mean, I would not know unless she had a complete sexual change. If I was out single dating, I would wind up dating him until I found out, what's down below. But holy shit!
Okay, we're a family show, and Claudette's going to light up the switchboard in a minute.
Randy, you don't date women that got bigger hands and bigger feet than you got, bro. You're not.
Right.
Well, okay, what obviously.
And a bigger Adam's apple.
Okay, but looking at his makeup on,
if a lady named Big Mike leaves a message on your machine, Randy, for their genealogy, you might want to say no.
No, I would. I would never do that. Okay, folks.
You don't drink. Do you, Randy?
I would never say because you are a certain.
I'm going to guess the answer. Hold on, Randy. I'm going to guess the answer to your last statement, William, was not enough. Now go ahead.
No, I would never, ever choose not to do someone's genealogy based on the way they live.
I know. I understand that. I understand that.
He did. I know you're saying it in fun, but there are people who watch this show might not think you're joking about it. He's not going to do.
If Lady Maga USA is watching, or anyone sends him this broadcast, it was all harmless fun, and I want him to understand that I will bring him on, and I will apologize profusely for anything that I said that embarrassed him or myself, because I truly support the work that he does.
That comes from.
Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead, Ray.
Nothing. That's my guy. I was about to say that comes from a guy who don't know him, but I know him, so he already know man.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
No, but I'm serious.
Big hugs to you. Hey, Randy actually thought you was a female, yo.
Right. Matter of fact, when you come on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, Randy wants to sit next to you.
Yeah, I'm dead serious now, guys. Looking at his going through and seeing with all the makeup and the dresses and so forth, I want to tell you what. You wouldn't. Right. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference until we got underneath the sheets, and then it's like, oh shit. You know what? Yeah, I know. Maybe, you know what? I'm gonna leave that.
One of the biggest honors in my life was sitting next to a guy named John DeCleese, who is an open homosexual. He's a writer. He writes a series of books. The character is a police detective who dresses in leather and is a homosexual named Mason Powell. And every time John writes a new Mason Powell book, it is an honor to be asked to dress in leather and be Mason Powell's dog and get paraded around all over San Francisco. Oh, and I knew John very well. And John, one night we were in a bar and pretty drunk. So John said to me, explained all of that to me, and said, would you be Mason's dog on my next book tour? And I almost said yes, but I just said I didn't want to disrespect him. But John was a great guy. So I am open.
Who's the other guy that is openly gay and he's pushes for the Republicans to sign up, and he goes around and he picks up trash and stuff.
I don't know. But if he's watching, he's more than welcome to come on to a broadcast too. Anybody's welcome to come on.
No idea who you're talking about.
Anybody is welcome to come on. We love everybody. We love Americans.
Y'all remember the movie Soul Surfer?
Not off the top of my head, but now I'll go find it.
The movie about the girl who she was a surfer and she got her arm bitten off by the shark.
Oh yeah, yes.
Now she's pulling a Riley Gaines. she's standing up for the surfers. I guess that they're having in New Jersey, they're having a surfing contest. Now, the surfing contest is in New Jersey,
Okay.
but it's being sponsored by the Coastal Surfing Commission or something like that. Well, there
Okay.
is a organization, part of the commission in California, that said because they allow transgender swimmers to swim in California under the commission guidelines, New Jersey has to allow the transgender swimmers to compete in New Jersey. The New Jersey officials don't want them to compete, but the California Coastal Commission said if you don't compete, we'll close down the whole
Well,
shit.
if it's a national organization and every member state has to function the same way, then every
Well,
member
basically, that's what they're
organization has
doing.
right. Well, then every organization has to accept it or leave the organization. What happened in the NCAA with Leah Thompson is that the NCAA itself has on its books something called Title IX. Title IX says that no biological male may compete in a female sport against biological females. It's not allowed. And
Right.
then they doubled back and said, well, we're just going to let it go anyway. And they did it. So if you're an NCAA school, I think you have a right to go after the NCAA. Same thing here. If you're in a nationwide organization and the nationwide organization passes a rule that is binding on all of the state member organizations, then it is. But I would believe sometimes in national organizations, the national organization says to the states, you have the autonomy to do what you want. But if you disagree with something of ours, then you may not be involved in something. And that's something that you have to look at also. But at the gist of this, I still think it comes back to the same point. If you're a transgendered female, you're in a biological male body. No one has been able to prove if it is possible to change your DNA to female. And what I have said was, if you want to transgender from being a male athlete to a female athlete, maybe you have to be on the hormones and whatever else you have to take for 2 years before you can compete. And then maybe there has to be some agreement somewhere of the minimal amount of whatever in your body so that you can compete. But I guess that's really hogwash, because when I said that, I wasn't of the understanding that if you take a biological male body and you transgender it so that even though the brain thinks you're now a female, it's not true, and you're lying to your brain.
Right.
And you're lying to your body. And if I'm wrong, like I always say, if I'm wrong and there are doctors on both sides that are listening or hear this, please come to the broadcast and re-educate me. Because from what I understand, the doctors on the pro side say, yes, he is still a biological male. And the doctors on the anti side say, of course, he's a biological male. So, go ahead.
Before you get ready to land this, we're a little over an hour. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring the bell so you can get the instant notifications.
Please do.
It's always an honor being on here with you when I get a chance.
And I always like to say on the Patriots Lab side, if you get a chance to ring that bell and buy some stars, please do that for my man.
I was just sitting here thinking. Well, I was thinking about it a couple of nights ago.
Okay.
And when they say that freedom comes at a price, freedom comes at a cost. this, if you really sit back and think about it, and you think about it like the actual and factual, this could literally be a moment in history that really defines how America is such a free society. To be able to allow the shit that is going on, whether we agree or disagree with it, the freedom for these people to act the way that they're acting under this flag takes freedom to a whole new level. This might be taking freedom to the limit, pushing the envelope of freedom. It's really a crazy way to think about it. You know, they say in America you're free to do whatever you want to do, but with it comes consequences and repercussions, whether good or bad. But you still got the freedom to do what you want to do. Does freedom give these people the right to do what they're doing, but to be able to deal with the consequences and repercussions of their actions? Can you rob a bank under freedom in the United States, even though you will go to jail? Are you free to do whatever you want to do in America? Some get away with it, some don't. But does just that word freedom entitle you to do what you want to do? In some countries where they don't have freedom, some people second guess themselves before they do things because they already know the outcome. They already know the consequences of it. They know what it'll be like to speak out against their government. Instantaneous death, being locked up, or families being tortured or whatever. They already know what those outcomes are going to be. But Americans taking that word freedom for granted, some just lose their damn minds. I can do this. This is America. I'm free to be a cat. Just something to think about. Do we take that word freedom and push it to the limit sometimes?
I think we do. And as we get near wrapping up, my response as the host of Boogie with the Bull is, are you responsible for the consequences of the freedom that you take? I'll throw that back at Ray, and let's let Ray do a closing. Daryl Rector joined us late. One of these days, I'd like to get Daryl Rector on the broadcast. I mean, Daryl Rector is a great thinker among conservatives, but his schedule is always so busy that I can't get him on. I'll have to lie about getting Daryl on. I'll have to tell him that we're going to talk about NASCAR or something, or we want him to be the lead driver of the Boogie with the Bull race team. Maybe we'll get him on. Go ahead, William. Why don't you close your part of the broadcast? I appreciate you coming.
People have to understand one thing. And this might be a crazy way of thinking, but this is how my brain works. Power and authority, whatever you say, is never taken away. It is only relinquished by you. You can only be powerless if you allow yourself to be powerless. So I guess it all depends on the mindset that you continue to allow yourself to be in. You can only be a victim if you want to be a victim. Even hostages, if they don't want to be a victim no longer, there's ways for them not to be a victim. Hell, go run out the door. They'll end that victimization real quick for you. So,
Yeah.
those, and to answer your question, those that take power from others, eventually they have their own reckoning day.
Very true. Mr. Ray, always a pleasure. Will people find you on Facebook and other places? The Patriots Lab Network today, later today. You don't usually tell people. You just come on.
Yeah, because everything is sporadic when it comes to me. But you know, I don't. Like I tell people, I wear it as a badge of honor. I wish I can wake up every day and turn my laptops on and everything just channels to the right platforms and everything just zips and zaps. But when you
have to go one step further though. You have to find the right people to talk so that I don't have to talk. I just find the right people to talk.
Well, you know, this day of censorship that we're living in, you just got to let it not defeat you. That's all. You just gotta let it not. There's been so many times I felt like, you know, I'm never going back. Like that post you put up this morning, you know, I'm over it. I'm done. And then it just, you know,
30 minutes after I posted that post, I was still on Facebook.
Because you know what? There's still the day and the hour isn't here yet when people are tuning in for Boogie with the Bull and the Patriots Lab, because they need to know what's going on. They have to know what's going on, because guess what? You're the first person that clicks in their mind when the real, even mainstream media doesn't tell you why buildings are fucking blowing up and shit like that. And they're going to be like, Dave knows.
Yeah.
They'll be like, the Patriot Lab knows. Let's catch one of them.
The Patriot Lab knows, so come watch the Patriots Lab on Boogie with the Bull, and you'll get the actual and factual. All right, Ray, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Let's see, our next one is Monday at 10 a.m. because we even God's Jewish broadcasters take Sunday off. Although Randy Rhodes is on at 7 p.m. on Sunday, so watch him, be a part of that. So join us Monday morning, 10 o'clock.
Real quick, Randy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Randy, have you heard about them letting about 200,000 Palestinian refugees?
Yeah, I heard.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're bringing in the varsity squad now.
Yeah.
I guess the JV squad gave up the encampments too easy back to the campus police, so they need the real McCoys over here. Show them how it's done.
Yeah. First off, for now, there's no Sunday broadcast. I'm still recreating stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on with our government, and you mentioned. I wanted to comment earlier on a lot of things you got to talk about. You guys just kept talking. But like with the Trump thing at the court, every time they throw something at him in court, his people are able to tear it apart and prove it for what it is with this fake information. And it's going to boil down, if his trials have a jury to a Democrat influenced jury trying to find the person of their hatred innocent. I mean, they can prove all they want that he's innocent of these crimes, but if the mindset of those 12 jurors is I hate Trump, at the end of the day, they're going to go against Trump no matter what the evidence proves. If it's in front of just of a judge, same scenario. These court rulings were picked by people who hate Trump. So the judge is against Trump, the jurors against Trump. So, in the case of just a judge, if he hates Trump, no matter what they prove to his innocence, the judge is going to say you're guilty.
We don't know if the jury is against Trump. We know the judge is against Trump. We know the prosecuting attorneys against Trump. We know the DA is against Trump. But what we have to understand, unless the jury pool have been somewhere tucked away for months or years and just brought out into society, bro, these are regular New Yorkers that they had a rough time picking this jury. But the mindset, just go by the mindset of New Yorkers in general. I mean, that's what I'm going by. Because these are New Yorkers that are sitting on this jury panel. And when I look outside and see everyday New Yorkers, it's going to be hard. And you got to remember, out of 12, he only has to get one. Maybe I'm wishing for too much saying all of them, but my goodness, out of 12, and out of what I've seen from these New Yorkers out here, from the construction workers to the bodega people to they've come out of their Democratic shell, and it's not because of Trump. That's the thing. Biden has done such a terrible job. He's done such a I don't care how they try to spin it. How he tries to come out and say, when I took over, inflation was at 9%. Try 1.4%. Americans know and Americans see. You don't have to love Trump. At this point in time, it could have been Goofy or Daffy Duck that was running against Joe Biden, and they would freaking win. Because people are sick and tired of being sick and tired of paying, like you said, $7 for gasoline and just promises being unfilled. This is the first time I feel a sense of Americans feeling heartbroken, betrayed, bewildered, desperate. It's in the air. It's in the air. Years ago, you could never turn on YouTube and just see podcasters walking the streets interviewing people and people talking Trump. You couldn't do it. You couldn't find it. Now that's all you see. So for these jury people on there, I wish you luck. I wish you luck, because they've given them nothing on which the case was brought. The only thing these people are sitting in these jury booths is saying is like, okay, y'all made him look like a bad person. Can you fucking give us what you brought us here for? I'm missing work, man. I'm missing work. Okay, Stormy depicted play-by-play how it all went down in the bedroom. That's not what y'all charging them with.
Right.
So it's they need something.
Yep.
So, and this is coming from people that's starting to talk in the mainstream media. They're already starting to talk like, dude, Trump's not going nowhere. Biden's going to have to beat him on the merits.
Yeah.
Well, they already know that's not possible. So
Yeah, he can't do that.
Yeah. And so I
Dave,
gotta,
run, Dave, run. We
No.
got you back.
No, Dave can't run. Dave can't run. I wouldn't run.
run, Dave, run. Run,
Everybody
Dave,
knows.
run.
Everybody knows that I'm about 20 years behind Joe Biden with my dementia, which is why I wouldn't run. And I'm having more fun. I'm having more fun doing Boogie with the Bull broadcast. I would be very happy if Donald Trump gets reelected, if he called me and he said, "Be my press secretary," and every weekday morning we did a live Boogie with the Bull from the press briefing room. That would be awesome. Me, Randy, you, Bill Buckler, if we could get him, Bonnie Johnson, Jen Woodruff. We're all just sitting at a table having a good old time with a room full of reporters.
Have y'all awesome. Seen the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey?
No.
Oh,
but
you
my
have
wife,
to.
But my wife promises me that she will get me there.
One day. Dude, Trump's gonna have about 50,000 there today, man.
Yeah, I just saw that.
They was out there since yesterday. I was watching the news this morning, and people have been out there since yesterday.
Yep, to get that spot so they can be there to see him and maybe even catch a hat if he throws them.
You see the difference? You got one person out there that's just like, I'm going into your territory. I'm coming in your. That's like a blood going into the Crip neighborhood. Talking about I'm going into your area, bro. You don't want to go talk to your people. I'm gonna go talk to your people for you. Let me show you how it's done. I mean, Joe Biden is basically making an even more embarrassment to himself and to his followers. I mean, can you imagine his followers like, damn, Joe, you don't want to come say nothing to us? You don't want to come holler at you? We voted for you, Joe.
I think most of his followers are actually thinking under their breath, shut the hell up and just go home, old man. Just go home.
Well, it's been proven that without a script, that guy can't talk. And even when he does have a script, he tells what at the line where it says
he
last
reads
name
the
here.
word on the problem. He reads next page. No, you're not supposed to read next page.
I'm starting to wonder if the aviator dark sunglasses are actually teleprompters.
Oh, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something?
It's very possible. It's very easy to do it. You just take a Facebook Ray-Ban set of glasses. You can look them up on the Meta Facebook page.
He can't see like that. That's so you don't see him doped up.
But also you could darken the lenses.
So you can't see his glassy eyes.
You could darken the lenses so that you can't see any of that like they are. But just make a very dark pair of aviator glasses. On the inside,
that's why I couldn't see nothing like that.
But on the inside, I know, but I'm just saying on the inside, it looks like it's daylight outside.
No, that's when they got him on that horse stuff, that a dopamine or whatever they shoot him up with and then shuffle his ass out on the stage because they know it's got a time span on it. They like this shit only lasts 20 minutes.
I said, because I have dementia, if they're giving him the same cognitive medication that I have, and they're giving him the amount that he has to take, which is much lower than the amount I have to take at this point, send the man home.
Yeah.
You might look, if the Democrats are going to go this far with Joe Biden and think the American people are going along with it, they might as well sign him up for the next fight with Mike Tyson and think the American people will go along with that shit too. Because that's just what this is. That's the craziness. When you see this man, everybody already know he's only the president by title.
Put him in a cage match.
Everybody knows that.
Put him in a cage match with Mark Zuckerberg and see who comes out the winner.
Nah, you know who would beat Joe Biden? That guy that's in the damn chair that does all of the damn movement with his hand. He'll beat Joe Biden ass.
Yeah.
And he in the chair. What's
It's
my
just-
guy name? He the head of something. He the head of something.
Oh,
He
you
come out and
mean
do all the speaking engagements.
you're not talking about Texas Governor Greg Abbott, are you?
Nah, he uses
Okay.
the little stick by his mouth and stuff like that when he's.
Oh, you mean
oh.
Stephen Hawking, who unfortunately passed
Yeah.
away. But yeah, Stephen
Oh,
Hawking.
rest in
okay.
peace, Steve. Rest in peace. See,
Yeah,
Joe, Joe, not too far behind you, bro. So when
No,
he
he's
get up
not.
there, lay into his ass.
It's pretty sad. All right, Ray, let's
Yeah,
wrap up. Randy's got to go, so
I gotta
Ray,
go.
say
Gotta
a
go.
couple of few words, and then Randy will get a second.
Oh,
All right. Remember,
All right.
people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. I'm glad I thought about that because with everything that's going on, all of the chaos and all of the madness, will this go down as just another act of freedom? America is so free. They was free enough to be able to do some shit like this. I'm not saying they're gonna get away with it, but is that how far to the extent freedom goes? Does freedom have any guardrails? Just asking a question. I appreciate it.
All right, Ray, always a pleasure. Come back and see us Monday if you're around.
I am out, guys. Y'all have a good day.
All right,
See
Ray,
ya.
thank you. All right, Mr. Rhodes, what do you saying?
Well, to tag on to what he's saying is, yeah, we live in a free nation, at least as free as they allow us to have it. But, there are people who will take that thought of freedom to the extreme, and they'll go into a store and they'll walk out with $1,000 in groceries, or $1,000 in clothing, $1,000 in purses or shoes or electronics, because we live in a free nation, and they're not going to arrest my ass because that's what they do. But with freedom of, you gotta use your common sense. Instead of doing whatever you can to destroy and tear down this once great nation of ours, what can you do to build it back up? I want to see if hopefully I can get this right. This one saying, where you're getting ready to go into combat, and it says, give not what you can for your nation, but give. Oh, how's it go? Anyways, there are. Instead of trying to figure out how you can screw your government or screw your school or whatever, try and figure out what you can do to make it better. Make your life better and make the lives of others better. Not just for yourself. Think of others first, and then think about yourself. And then you'll live a better life. You'll feel better about yourself, and people will think better of you. And that's my takeaway for today.
All right, before you go, Monday morning, 10 a.m., I'll bring the donuts if you promise you're coming.
As long as you bring the right ones.
I'll bring the right ones. The white chocolate the white powdered with so much chocolate when you take the first bite, it bursts all over your screen.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Sounds like a plan. See ya.
All right, Randy. Always a pleasure. Randy, Genealogy Services here on Facebook. Go to Randy's Facebook page, profile, message him, tell him what you need, and he'll set you up. I can't say enough about it. $250 a month gets you unlimited genealogy services for a month. You can't beat it with anybody who is doing genealogy on Facebook, and you probably can't beat it with anybody doing genealogy off of Facebook. Again, there will not be any Randy Rhodes, All Roads Lead to Somewhere broadcast tomorrow night at 7 p.m., but hopefully there will be one coming. In the meantime, we'll keep them aboard Boogie with the Bull broadcast, morning caffeine, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Friday, we're bringing in a whole bunch of people because we just think that more is better. Bill Muckler will drop by when he can. And Bonnie Johnson will hopefully be with us weekly. Jen Woodruff hopefully will be with us weekly. Ray will be with us if he can. Randy is expected to be with us. And I will throw the link up whenever we are on. And if anyone wants to join us, and when I say anyone, I don't necessarily mean a broadcaster. Actually, that's the wrong link, so don't take that. But I'll throw the link up on the screen and it'll look like that. Actually, that's the right link if we had put it up on the screen. But I'll throw the link up and you can come in just like they used to do on that other broadcast. 12:01, this is the part of the broadcast where I say you have been watching a rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull broadcast, which is a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. Equal time is given to responsible parties with opposing views. If you think you're responsible and you have an opposing view, let me know, and we will figure it out. If you saw something in the live chat that bothered you, as long as the person who typed it in there is willing to come on to the broadcast on camera, as well as you coming on camera, then we can discuss it and see if we can work it out. If we can't, then it's on both of you. Anyway, that's how that goes. A little bit of business that we got to do while we're here. Boogie with the Bull, morning caffeine, Monday morning, 10 a.m. Randy and I and whoever else decides to join us, Ray, if he's available, and anybody else, you're always welcome to come in and join us. Please, 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 please continue to buy Bill Muckler's books, the 2020 books, 2020, A Clear Vision for America, 2020, A Clear Vision for Our Future. Go to Bill's Facebook profile right now, hit message, and message him. He needs your address, and he needs some information about you, because he's going to autograph that book and write a nice note to you in it. Same if you buy his new novel, 6 Soft Targets, do that as well. He's asking for donations now, and I'm going to be flat out, maybe rude if that's what it is, and I'm going to tell you he wrote the book, he publishes the book himself, he pays for that, he pays for the postage to mail it to you. So as far as I am concerned, if you buy the, as I call them, the Conservative Broadcast Bibles, the 2020 books, or you buy the novel 6 Soft Targets, you send him $25. For $25, you get both of the 2020 books, hardbound books. For the $25 for the novel 6 Soft Targets, you get the paperback. But you know what? It's worth it. And he's doing his best to whip out the books and get them sent to you as quickly as he can. So please help him out. You know him from the Bill Muckler Show here on Facebook that ran Monday through Friday. He has retired from that after a year. He's 89 years old, and he's got a lot going on in his life too. So, he will be a guest on Boogie with the Bull Red Friday morning caffeine as often as he wants to. If he ever decides he wants to join us on the rest of them, Monday, Wednesday, morning caffeines, and the 7 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday night live broadcast, he's more than welcome to join us anytime he wants. I do want to say one thing before we go. Our numbers, meaning the number of people watching a Boogie with the Bull broadcast live and then continuing to track total views for us, for Boogie with the Bull, are just going astronomical. Astronomical. I mean, we have a broadcast that gets 50 live views when it's on, and swelled up to over 100. Last week, we had one that swelled up to over 200. We have a few that swelled up to over 300. We have one, Bonnie Johnson's first broadcast 2 weeks ago, where I started it with her, and then Jen Woodruff joined us. That broadcast was 935 total views since we did that broadcast. And you know what? Yeah, it'd be nice one day to have 935 people watching a Boogie with the Bull broadcast, but watch it when you can. If you can't watch it live, watch it as a podcast in the groups that we shared it to, or go to my profile and take it and watch it and share it, or go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and watch it and share it and take it all over the internet. If you would, I would appreciate it very much. An hour and 45 minutes, not bad for a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. It could have gone, would have been okay if it went 2 hours, but we did what we needed to do. Think about what's going on in this country right now. Think about what you need to do to make it work the way you want it to work. And please be a part of it. Daryl Rector made a comment that we should not be on Facebook. As I have said to people, I'm not taking anything personal. I'm not attacking anybody. My plan was never to say, Facebook isn't working. Let's go to Rumble. If that's not working, we'll go here. If that's not working, we'll go there. My big thing as a broadcaster was to get it up, get it running on Facebook and YouTube, because we've had YouTube as long as we've had Facebook for the broadcast. And then, like we're going to do, bring in Rumble. So now we're Facebook, we're YouTube, we're Rumble, and then take it from Rumble and share it around the internet wherever we can as a podcast until Truth Social decides what they're doing with live streaming. I would like to do X. It's kind of complicated, and we would need to have a person who understands broadcasting on Rumble be involved. On X, be a part of the team to help get it set up, help get it going, help promote it, and do all that. Unfortunately, it would be a non-paying job, but we will do it. So, like I said, my point is to just take and expand. So, and expand and expand and expand and expand and expand. And usually try to expand to where we're not paying anything every time we expand. Work with us. We will not usually ask you for money, meaning to help pay the costs of the broadcast. We'll occasionally grab something on the desk and throw it on the screen, and you may want it. And if you want it, you may buy it. The Boogie with the Bull white ceramic mug. The only reason we have a white ceramic mug is that I asked for a Boogie with the Bull mug back when the broadcasts were called Boogie with the Bull Uncensored. And Jen Woodruff designed the mug. Randy Griesenbeck designed the logo. If you don't like Randy Griesenbeck, don't buy the mug. I don't want to hear about it. It is a truly bipartisan mug. If you hold it in your left hand, everybody knows you're a leftist, communist, socialist dingbat who watches us wherever you can. If you hold it in your right hand, everyone knows that you hope President Trump is reelected in November, and will do everything you can to elect Republicans as well, and take over Congress and get this country back to where it needs to be. There are two deals for the mug. One is $10. If you're a Democrat, it's $10 plus $10 for shipping. And today only, if you order one and you're a conservative patriot or a Republican or whatever you want to call yourself, if you order it today and today only, it is $20, and that includes free shipping. Anyway, whoops, wait a minute. We don't want to do that. That's not what we want to do. We want to do this and bring it back to that screen. We want to thank Susanna Cardo for coming in under the wire. Let's see, we'll scroll up through the screen and thank Daryl Rector for coming in. And Daryl, you're welcome to come on to the broadcast and keep me from talking and get your view out every once in a while. Whenever you can, you are more than welcome to be a part of the broadcast at any time. We'll scroll down. Jen McCray, nice to see you watching. And don't be bashful. Come into the live chat and tell me to shut up and say something. And be a part of the broadcast. Let's see. Scrolling up. Callie Gatlin Hansen was watching. Callie, if you're related to Jeremy Hansen, congratulations. And if you see him, we'd like to have him watch sometime, or even have him on the broadcast. Melanie Brown Fortney, my buddy who watches all the time. John Canuto watches a lot. The real Joe Biden is watching. The real Joe Biden kind of started some controversy in the hardcore conservatives group, which is back. I'm going to say this, okay? I'm just going to say this. New people join Facebook all the time, and you got to give new people a chance. And if you don't like a new member in a group, we give them a chance. And if they give me a reason to bang them from a group, then we will bang them from a group. Everybody knows that. I have no problem banging somebody in a group who does not belong in a group. But my belief is that everybody who wants to be in our groups is more than welcome. We would like to get the Hardcore Conservatives group and the Red Patriots for America groups up to 1,500 plus members before the election and see where they go after the election as well. We would also like to help Art Sessa get Conservative Freedom Defenders up and over 1,500 and see where that continues to grow. And the same with Roland Hatton. The United Media Group Uncensored does need a new name. Okay, it's a touchy subject between Roland and I, but it does need a new name. I think something more fitting of MAGA and conservative patriots, but I don't know. But we're trying to get that group over 1,500. American Regulators got its first deep cleaning for the first time in like 3 years, 4 years, I think, and went from 1,500 down to about 150. So we're slowly trying to build that group back because that is what we do. So work with us, invite your friends to our groups. You come to our groups, invite your friends to our groups, have your friends invite them to our groups, be a part of posting. In the Hardcore Conservatives group right now, all of the badges are available, meaning if you're an admin, that badge is there. If you're a moderator, that badge is there. If you're a group contributor, that badge is there. And I think there are different levels of that. If you become a group ambassador is a member of the group who shares the group and all of the other groups they are in and invites members of those groups to join our groups. And if you do, and they do, then you get the group ambassador badge. I believe that is the one badge for members that does in fact stay with you. Otherwise, all of the other badges for members are tracked monthly, and once you earn the badge, you get the badge, and at the end of the month, you have to re-earn the badge. And that's the best. That's the best we can do. And on that note, I've already said this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you Boogie with the Bull. A rare Saturday morning Boogie with the Bull. It's a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. And we'll be back Monday morning at 10 o'clock. So double B for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is coming to an end. And double B's for victory.